chat that I'd only just found today. So it's really good that this stuff prompts me to do a double take on some of the stuff in the Discord, which is really exciting. But yeah, I'm excited to show you that. I think I'm going to get your opinion. I'm going to get everyone in the chat's opinion. So make sure you stay tuned for that. How are you going, man? How is Italy? How is Italy?
Incredible. Yeah, I've kind of missed. I mean, I caught you guys last week, right? For a little bit, but no, it's been really sick. Yeah, forgive the camera quality and everything. You might hear an echo. I'm in a pretty small room. But no, Italy's amazing, man. We're overlooking Lake Como just out there. Lauren and the guys are having breakfast, lunch out there. Excited. It's great. It's great. Kieran's wedding, amazing. So good to be back, though. I haven't fully caught up. So yeah, I kind of said this off camera, but yeah, you're definitely going to be leading the charge on the conversation today.
What time is it, anyways?
We're right now. Oh, we're 8 hours behind you guys, so it's about 9:30 for you, right? We're at 1:30. 1:30 for us.
Okay, yeah. That's not bad at all. All right, so let's push on with it. The first thing is I love this leak so much. It's so cheesy and so weird, but I like that there's things that we still haven't seen, even if it's little things like Mozart crate. I like how they're sticking with the lore. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what this is actually. Obviously, I can't say too much, but yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I think we've seen a couple of drones already, so that should look. I won't say more than that. If you kind of be creative and think critically about it, you might figure it out. But there are multiple drones, so
based on this, I think it's running away from the player. So kind of like in like Jedi Survivor, we have those little crate dudes that kind of appear out of nowhere and they run away from you. You've got to try and catch them to get some items and things. I think that might be something to do with this thing because we've already got the discs for Illuvitas, which is what I would have imagined this sort of thing would have filled that role. But if it's not that, it's got to be in the overworld somewhere for sure.
Oh, I mean, look, I'm not gonna tell you what it is now. I'll let you figure it out. But I'll say, look at the animations. Like on the screen right now, you can't figure it out. Like you can't figure it out. If you look deeply at it and see what you're seeing, you can 100% figure it out. But no, I'm excited for people to see what's going on. Like I say, we've seen like Mozart, we've seen like some of the other drones already. And look, I'm not going to say more than that. But no, I'm excited. I think this will be cool. I think this is going to be cool.
His name's Choppin. That's cute.
Choppin.
I like Choppin.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, go back. Let me ask. Go back.
Yeah. Sorry.
Look at that. Yeah, look at that last image. That last image. Yeah. What do you think that is?
So he like spins around and turns into a crate of some kind. Whoops.
Yep. And where did your mind go with that? So it spins around and turns into a crate. And I'm not going to give you the answer. I'm just curious to know what you think of that.
Maybe an inventory thing where you're carrying Mozart with you and you kind of leave him at a spot so that you can drop off stuff to him. But I'm not really getting anything. This does remind me a lot of Apex Legends. So just standard battle pass things is very possible. But I'm really not sure.
Okay, cool. Fascinating.
That or a backpack of some kind.
Okay. We can move on to the next one.
All right, so some of the rocks look really, really sick. I really love renders like this. This is part of my day job, doing renders and animations of this sort of stuff. Sometimes, and it's always satisfying when we get a really nice render out. Just put it that way. I love this one, Telvium. They're looking fantastic.
Yeah, I think Grant's been helping. I might be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure Grant's helping out with all of this stuff now, so it's really coming to life.
I already really liked it, but
oh wow,
they felt like they were 2D images before, and now that they're 3D, it's going to be a lot more useful, and there's a lot more you can do with it right in the future.
This is cool. I haven't seen this.
Doria's doing some sort of funky animation.
Yeah, it's just the animation. Some people ask, is it not going to have fur anymore? It's still going to have fur. This is just the animation work. Yeah. I can't wait till like all of these real NFTs and artwork. It's going to be beautiful.
I'm more curious about how they look in the game. Like, even recently I played Illuvium Arena, and I still sometimes forget just how good the game looks. Like, it's easy to really miss it when you have the UI and HUD and everything still turned on. But when you turn off the UI and everything and then watch the fight, it looks like no other game on the market right now. And it's, in terms of graphics, it is top level. Like it's better than everything else, if not the same quality, right?
I mean, artistically, the creatures like the Illuviums are on par, in my opinion, on par with Pixar. Like the fur,
sure.
the texturing, everything. Yeah, it's on par with Pixar, which is saying a lot. Yo, are people commenting? I can't see the chat, by the way.
A little bit, not really. Mel guessed of the Mozart thing if it's a loot box, and Daniel said, is it a cache box?
All right. Well, I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna open this up and have a look. I'm gonna pop out the chat so I can see it. All right. Yeah. Let us know what you guys think, guys. Okay, cool.
We've got a Doka. It's a stage 1 Doka. Stage 2, probably.
Cache box, loot box. Interesting. Interesting that you guys are going to the box. That's what you guys.
I really like this one. How you have the shard and the broken shard.
Yeah.
Because we can't currently see that in the overworld when a shard fails and when it's successful and then it's broken afterwards, or what that looks like. So
I don't think it breaks after, right? It stays the same. You don't use your shards. I think the fractured shard is like and I might be wrong, but it might be the tier 0 if I'm not mistaken. The tier 0 was a fractured shard.
This might be the shard fragment, but I thought the shard fragment looked a bit different to this.
I think this is an uncured shard fragment.
Yeah, I think that's very, very possible.
Yeah. Again, I might be wrong, but I'm just kind of making an assumption here.
I really like the way it looks. These ones are really, really sick as well.
Oof. Look at this, man.
I've never really noticed the detail on its spikes, how it's all got all the glows and stuff near it. It's very Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a little bit much for me, but it's very Sonic the Hedgehog.
I mean, it's better than the first CGI of Sonic, right?
Yeah. Actually, I love this. Actually love this one. Monarch is stunning. We get a lot of moths in Australia. I don't know if that's big everywhere, but we get a lot of moths at night and stuff. And none of them look as pretty as this one. Let me put it that way.
There's a lot of lizards out here, like where we're at in the villa. So many lizards. It's crazy, crazy.
It's the heat. It's the heat for sure.
This looks so good, man. I did see this one today. Yeah, this one looks clean.
This one looks a little bit like plastic to me. I don't really think it captures the essence of a creature. I think
interesting.
It's one of those things, right, where you play the Pokemon games for so long and they all come across as like toys and plastic toys and stuff when you play the game because of the art style, right? And then you watch a movie like Detective Pikachu and Pikachu has fur all over him, which is obvious because he's based on a mouse. But that doesn't come across in the game. I feel like what Illuvium's done really well so far is they've made all of that come across in the game while keeping their own art style. I'm not convinced this Ramphie captures that.
Interesting.
These parts look like plastic, but like the chest and everything looks really good. I just would have liked to see more of that everywhere else. But I mean, interesting. It is what it is.
Yeah, it was. I was talking to Roger, and it was just interesting. Like getting to so we met a bunch of people here, right? Obviously, and Roger was one of the guys, and it was very fascinating picking his brain on the art and things like that. It's like one of the things that he said that they tried to do was to develop like an art style that fit in a universe, that if you showed anyone anything from Illuvium, they'd start to understand, oh, it's from a single universe, and just understanding how they did that, the things that they were looking at into building that. It was really fascinating. Yeah, it was cool to pick everyone's brains, like Florian, like with the UI and stuff. These guys are killers at their craft. That's absolute.
Yeah, it's really no easy feat. I've done it quite a bit in 2D graphics and stuff, and even then, it's really hard. And you need quite not just a talented team, but a decently sized team to be able to pull it off as well. If your artist team is too small, it becomes even more difficult to do it.
I actually think that the larger the team, the larger the team, the harder it is, because as artists, everyone's got that unique style, like their unique style, and to get them all aligned on a single, like I say, theme and style for a universe is actually quite a big ask. And like you said, I think it comes down to leadership. Like I think that is a very important way that leads the team, that directs the team in what they're looking for. Like just things like that that really, again, make it feel like it's all part of a single universe. So no, I think it's amazing what the team has done, and
But I think
incredible to see.
I think you also get those really interesting nuances in something like Pokemon, where you can look up which artist designed which Pokemon, and then you can group them all together, and you can really tell which ones were by the same artist and stuff like that. And they're all like a bit different. I can't remember what some key examples are, but things like a Donphan and a Kangaskhan might have been the same artist, because you can tell they've got some very similar features, the way the ears are drawn and everything as well. So there's a lot of that sort of stuff in Pokemon, but you wouldn't know because they all look like they're a part of the same family. So I think maintaining that sort of stuff is really cool. You'll find that a lot of the fur alluvials are probably made by similar artists, and then you'll have a lot of us.
All the fur textures are done by the same people, if I'm not mistaken. It goes through like the process, the pack line, and I think when it gets to the fur side of things, it's the same kind of team that is on it to make sure that it is again of that similar style, similar quality, things like that, to make sure that it's a uniform kind of style. Fizzo, in regards to the hollows in open beta, I mean, I haven't heard anything against it. It makes sense to do it. So yeah, we had a couple of hollow leaks a while back. I think they were testing out some things. I thought it looked cool with the hollows and the dark hollows. I thought we saw that with the Gorilla as the example. So there's no, as far as I'm aware, no news on it not being there. And by the way, sorry, I usually use an Ethernet cable. Is my connection okay? I just want to confirm.
Yeah, better than usual.
That's what happens when you're not in China. But yeah, sick.
All right, so the next one we jump onto is Johnny's announcement. He accidentally minted a bunch of Wave 1 discs when he was trying to prepare the rewards for the Wave 1 individual goals and all that sort of stuff. So he's going to burn them at some point, but everyone should have received their Wave 2 discs. I received some myself. I managed to pull a really nice Dastardly Sin Elf. So that was really exciting. And now I've gone and I've bought everything off the market that wasn't a Fisto or Ramfire. So I've got a basic, but yet mostly complete set. So that's really, really exciting. And yeah, I'm loving it. But they got delivered.
Sorry, carry on.
No, they got delivered, and I can't wait for Wave 3 discs to get delivered because there's going to be a lot for a lot of people.
I was going to say, I'll be honest, like we launched it on the day that I left. And by the time I landed, I got some work done, but it was like 6 hours after launch of the extended sale. How has it been going? I've taken a couple of days off. I haven't caught up to it. I feel like I saw some numbers. They were looking pretty good considering that the majority of purchases were ETH. But I don't know, like, can you fill me in there? How's it been going so far?
Yeah, I think it's been going all right. The most noticeable thing is, about, I don't know.
It's that good. It's that good that. You know? Oh, okay.
There's about, I think, 600 or so unique wallets that participate in the alpha sale. I'm not sure how that's changed for extended. I don't think it has much compared to 9,000 not 9,000, like 7,000 in Wave 1. So a considerable drop off. But those wallets wallets. Yeah. So, but those wallets aren't really spending less or anything like that. So all the people that are really into Illuvium Beyond have come back and are purchasing and are getting involved. And there's a pretty steady stream of disc purchases and things. I don't have the full data and all that yet.
I'm keen to follow up on that. And I think like a lot of the big players, Kieran being one of them, obviously he's busy. Dick just landed back in his place like today, I think it was. I'm not as big as they are in it, but I haven't actually partook yet, just because I'm enjoying this. And this is honestly the first time I've opened up my laptop since the sale started. So it'll be cool. I think a lot of the Illuvium people and some of the guys that we know are going to jump back in soon. That's the beauty of having it for 90 days as well. But keen to see how that's going. I think it started off well. Based on what I've seen, I think it started off well and we're starting strong.
Yeah, it's not bad. So those that are into Beyond have come here and they're still participating in the game. They're really enjoying it. There's a few things that need to improve, like a bigger leaderboard and stuff. Definitely needs to happen soon.
I think that's in discussion. That's in discussion.
And the other side of things is towards the end of the sale, or at least even in the middle of the sale, we're going to see PvP beta come out at some point, things like that. So Illuvium overall might get some more interest, and it'll be really interesting to see how that impacts something like Illuvium Beyond. I don't know how.
I had that conversation as well. I was like, once PvP does come out, I think that's a nice little funnel back into Beyond. If we do like a little mid bump campaign to really just again build up that hype a little again, hype again. I think it's definitely makes sense.
Yeah, so we'll jump on to the next one here. We have an Illuvium Zero update from Julian. Technically, we could have done this last week, but I missed it, so we're doing it this week. Basically, it's been a very focused week. It looks like a lot has happened, but not much that we've seen on the forefront. Basically, they're boosting their back end. On the client side, they're fully re-implemented scanning and research, and they're working on the UI so you can navigate through it all a lot easier. They mentioned that the other time. And a whole alluvial roster's worth of stuff to scan and research, which is really, really exciting. Going to turn Illuvium Zero into this huge gacha. I'm all here. I'm here all for it. On the outside, they switched to more recent Unity engine version. I'm going to assume that's a good thing. And every time you upgrade version, from what I've heard and seen, when it comes to game design engines such as Unity or Unreal Engine, whenever you do a big upgrade from a past engine to a future engine, which you hopefully don't need to do often, you do need to fix a bunch of stuff because it does kind of break everything, like with most major software updates. So they're fixing that, which is good. And they had a demo showcasing everything, and their sprint starts to work on the back end. And plants, which are getting a big overhaul. I don't know why. I think the plants look great, but it's not really up to me. Pardon?
Yeah. No, that's cool. I was going to say that these guys are always pushing for better, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it refers to just the art of the plants or something deeper, like
utility,
like the way they work and the way you get the credits and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But each to their own, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, so we've only got 2 left here. Johnny is hyping up the chat right here, which is really, really hype. So Johnny says he's hyped to share the details of the Beyond CCG he is pitching. It is both hilarious and awesome. I think that's the big push that Illuvium Beyond needs. I'm super into zany card games. I think that's the perfect idea. Don't make it anything hardcore because the PvP is supposed to fill that TCG hardcore type thing. Make it as lighthearted as you can, and I'm all here for it. Next week when Aaron gets back, he's going to go through a review or whatever. And very exciting. CCG means collectible card game for anyone that didn't know. Haven't really heard it be called that much, but I guess.
Well, I always say with the Pokemon cards is like I always ask people, I'm like, oh man, did you play Pokemon cards? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, be honest. Did you play it or collect it? And they're like, oh, I just collect it. I'm like, all right, so that's the CCG. TCG is when you're playing it and there's an actual game. CCG is when you're just collecting it. So my wife is looking at me just through the door right now.
Well, they both have the word game in it, and TCG actually means trading card game. So that actually applies more to the collecting side of things. Trading with other people. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Yo, these guys out here are playing with Lauren's dog. It's pretty funny. Like his dog goes crazy over the hose, so they just spraying water and he's just jumping around. Oh man, amazing. Sorry, back to it.
Right, we just got one left. I thought this was really interesting. So Jaganite posted a thing. Probably not going to get through. 23 downvotes, 13 upvotes.
Can I see who downvoted it?
Sure, I guess so.
Is there any Illuvium people? Yeah, Dimitri, Roger. Yep. Dick Kings. Yep.
All right. I really read this myself. But
what are your thoughts?
Skins for alluvials. How do I put this?
Just be blunt. It doesn't matter.
I think if we're talking about putting skins on alluvials, I think it's a big win, to be honest. I think there's a lot of money to be made there. Now, it kills the lore a bit and kind of makes it a little bit cheesy, and we probably don't want that necessarily. But there are pretty... I don't know. It's a lot of people really like it. A lot of people will be willing to drop bank on it. And since, as Jaganite says here, since the PvP is the focus and probably where you're going to have a lot of the streaming and stuff like that, people want to show off everything. Battleboard, Mozart, and skins for the Illuvials themselves. But I don't know how hard it makes all the rendering and all that sort of stuff. If that's too complicated, it's definitely not worth it.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it'd be cool. Plus, you could the way you sell it, it could start coming off things like Illuvium Zero and stuff. But again, it's a big lore killer. And I haven't seen the lore yet, so I can't really prejudge it off that. I'd rather see the lore first and then make a decision on something like this. Because it's a pretty big lore killer.
Yeah, interesting. No, I mean, look, we've already kind of spoken about this previously, and I kind of knew Roger was, because this actually got brought up while we were here in Italy. We were having drinks, and this got brought up. I was like, I haven't seen this. We were talking about it. Look, we've already kind of mentioned that we're going to have new sets of Illuvials, and we will have not all complete new Illuvials, but some kind of essentially a reskin, right? So I think that's already a way to do it where it makes sense lore-wise. Like we always say, Ramfire could turn into Ramfrost or something like that, right? That is a reskin of it that actually makes sense lore-wise. And I get the whole, we can make more money from it. But I trust the artists on this one. If they're going against it, Dimitri and Roger, if they're going against it, I'm putting my money on them. I think they understand this way more than the community, and they've got a plan of action already. They're not just downloading it for the sake of downloading it. So I'm very much on board with their sentiment on this one. And I think, again, we have battle boards, Mozart, or the drones, the ranger skins. Like, you've got so many, like, weapons. You can skin the weapons, right? You've already got so many customized. Like, do we really need to add it for the Illuvials? It's not. You have hollows and dark hollows. Like, that is the skin. That is the thing, right? So I'm happy to leave it as is. Let's not add scope, unnecessary scope when it's not needed. So leave it as is, and then let it play out naturally with the new sets and a Ram Frost and so on and so forth. And that is not a confirmed thing, by the way. I'm just saying that Ram Frost, it sounds all right compared to anything else.
I think there's a lot to take away from something like that. I imagine even things like even deeper, like if you eventually had your Atlas following you around in the overworld, giving him like a fedora or something could be pretty cool. But again, we've already got a lot of that in Illuvium Beyond, you know what I mean? So we've got it in so many places now that it's probably not necessary to put it on the PvP board. And as long as we've got, I think if we didn't have Drone Blast, that would have been a big injustice. And
Drone Blast is another one. Exactly. There's so many cosmetics already. There's so many cosmetics.
And that's the big one. You've got emotes and stuff as well.
Taunts, emotes. Like, there's so much. It's like, yo, guys, relax. We have enough revenue buckets. Like, let's get the game out and get those, fill up those buckets before even adding anything else.
But like, even if they were highly, highly limited, that would be really interesting. For example, you win the biggest Illuvium tournament, and now you get a crowned. Well, maybe you used Ramfire in your winning team, and now you get the crowned Ramfire skin, and it's a 1-of-1, and you get that, and now you can put your Ramfire with a crown on it onto the board. You know what I mean? Like,
if you know the law, you wouldn't. It just makes no sense. And again, if you win a tournament, you can get the crown for the Ranger on the like whatever. Like, it's the same shit. And in terms of extremely limited, yes, they're called hollows and dark hollows. Like that, like that is the limited thing. You're not going to see them around. Like that is it. So look, I appreciate the effort and putting in like an idea. Like that's really cool that people are thinking of creative things to do. But like I said, I'm going to back the artists on this one. They're the ones working on this 24/7. If they're against it, there's a reason for it. Whether we know it or not as a community, they think about this way more than people actually think. And that's why I said, like, we're here in Italy having drinks, and we're still talking about this stuff. Like, their brains don't switch off. It's just, this is what we care about. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For the time being, it's definitely not worth discussing it and going into it or anything like that. But I could definitely see the community revisiting this in 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Having another chat about it, depending on where everything's at, for sure.
I'm happy to have that conversation brought up again. I'm not saying like, yo, absolutely not. I'm just saying now is not the time to have this conversation, in my opinion.
of course.
And again, I don't know if it's going to pass in 6 to 12 months, but sure, at least at that point, the game is out. We're generating revenue, and then that's a conversation we could potentially have in a more open forum rather than now, where everyone's kind of like, yo, narrow focused on one thing, which is getting the game out.
I can help you out, Louise. Louis. Just shoot me a message on
Lewis.
Discord. Lewis. Yeah. All right. So that's all I've got for today. There's really not that much right now. There's a few people on holidays and things like that. We're just laying low a little bit with Illuvium, but PvP is coming soon. Once all that starts to come to the surface, it'll be full steam ahead with the download, with my channel, with TSG's channel, I'm sure. And just everything is going to be happening. So let's all get excited for that. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to leave us off on?
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll be honest. I'll kind of be transparent about it now. I think I'm going to slow down on my channel a lot. Like, I'm happy to continue doing this, even on your channel if you want, man. I really don't care. So I can kind of put my insight into the conversation. But in terms of content, I think I am slowing down a lot on it just because there are other things that I want to do. I want to do my job well. Like, I'm being transparent here. I want to do my job well at Illuvium, and it takes a lot. And I'd much rather have these conversations with you where we can be a bit more free-flowing and we can just speak off the top rather than preparing videos, doing things. Yeah, I might stream here and there, but yeah, I'm very happy to keep doing this with you and providing value to you and your audience here as well. So yeah, no, I think it's going to be a fun couple of months for sure. It's going to be a fun couple of months, and happy to see where it goes.
There's so much happening. I've been playing so many other Web3 games recently as well, and it's just the space is growing very, very quickly, and there's some great projects building right now. And every time I see, I'm like looking at Discords, I'm like, oh, when's the game coming out? It's like open beta in September, October, late 2023. It's all the same story. It's all late 2023. I think only one, Shrapnel is saying 2024, but everyone else wants it in 2023.
Yeah, it's going to be Q4 2023, Q1 and 2 2024. That's where we're going to see a big influx of games. A lot of games are building in stealth. So I think that these next 6 to 9 months, I'll say, is when we're going to start seeing an influx. Like, I saw the kart racing game. I didn't play it, but it looked all right. I know you're big on Shardbound. I think I haven't looked into it deeply, but even just looking at it, I'm like, oh, I see the potential here. So no, I think there are quality games out there that are coming out in the next 6 to 9 months. It'll be interesting, very interesting. It's going to be a very exciting time for everyone involved. Oh, and by the way, one thing that I will say, anyone that is still interested in Illuvatars, make sure you use Scoriox's link. I'm hoping it's down below. Yeah, I mean, you better put that in there. But click on that and use that. So it helps Scoriox out a lot with the support. So please do that.
It's there now.
Yeah. Please do that, man, because this guy puts out so much content, doesn't ask anything at all. Like, if you got any kind of value from it and you partake in Beyond, please use his link when you go and partake it. It helps him out greatly.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Everyone that uses my link, I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, have a good day, guys. It's been great chatting to you all. We can't wait for TSG to come back eventually, but enjoy your time in Italy. I'm going to say that every week.
Yeah, I don't want to come back. I want to stay here forever.
Have a good